And he's like, this is how much work went into the thing. And I'm like, yep, that's where I am at right now. Temples of Khaine. Alright, let's do it. Temples of Khaine. You can't see what's coming up on the dock, but we have the battle traits now. Oh, did we get battle traits for Daughters of Khaine? Ooh. Alright, fuck temples for now. Breaking news, let's go. Artifacts of power. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome to the leak zone. Any leakers? I don't want to get to, like, the temples right away because I want to know the battle traits first. It puts it into perspective a little better, I think. Temples of Khaine. Now we're getting into Daughters of Khaine territory. You can pick one of the following subfactions for your army's rules. We knew that. Battle Fury. This is a heroic action that you can carry out with one friendly Daughters of Khaine hero that is not a monster instead of picking one from the table in the core rules. If you do so, add 2 to the attack's characteristic melee weapons used by that hero until the end of the turn. The hero action does not affect the weapons used by the hero's mount. Man, Daughters of Khaine just hit different, don't they? Daughters of Khaine, there's just someone else working on them. You know what I mean? It's just a different type of book every time, isn't it? Cut the bullshit. Hey, give me +2 attacks. Hero action for free. Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay. I'm not complaining about Daughters of Khaine. This is how all the rules should be written. I just want them to be consistent. All out S laughter. Now, your monsters can't use it, so, no Morathi, or no Shadow Queen, I mean. You can't use this command ability when a friendly Daughters of Khaine unit is picked to fight in the combat phase. Must be issued by a friendly Daughters of Khaine unit and received by the unit that has been picked to fight if unmodified hit roll for an attack made by the unit this phase is 6. The attack scores 2 hits on the target instead of 1. Alright. Yeah, command ability for exploding 6s. Good. What is Battle Fury even used for if you can't use it on monsters? Well, I don't know, some sort of snake lady, I guess. I don't know how, like, incredible your foot troops are at fighting even with +2 attacks. So here I am, making fun of myself. Ahem. All-out slaughter, pretty decent. That's not bad. You have to choose between this and all-out attack, though. So unless you have +1 to hit rolls somewhere else, you really are making a mathematical decision at that point. Alright, it's Daughters of Khaine. You're getting a +1 to hit somewhere. You just are. Daughters of Khaine units have a ward of 6 up. Alright. I sleep. Friendly Daughters of Khaine units gain an ability. Each battle round is shown below. Units have the abilities of the current battle round, and each previous battle round. They are cumulative. Exploding 6s beats +1 to hit mathematically anyways, doesn't it? I don't think so, no. But you have to keep in mind that I'm a Bachelor of Fine Arts, alright? I went to public school in high school. I'm not really a math person. In a specific situation, I would just go to, like, Drichi Violet and look at some bell curves for it, and then figure that out. I don't know if the damage value of the thing matters. I don't know if the rend matters. I don't know if the starting value of your hit bonus matters or anything like that. I'm not sure. No, it's not army-wide 6-up. Or it's a command ability. Oh, you meant, yeah, army-wide 6-up, exploding 6s. It's just bone splitters. Yeah, you're right. You are right about that. People 3004. Daughters of Khaine is bone splitters if they wanted bone splitters to be 300% better and more fun. It really put it into perspective, didn't it? Yeah, Fanatical Faith, All-Out Slaughter. Yeah, it's bone splitters, only good. Nice. Oh, apologies. Add 1 to run rolls, add 1 to charge rolls, add 1 to hit rolls. There it is. Okay, turn 3, easy. Now you get both. You were not going to have to choose between the two. This is Daughters of the Khaine. You don't have to choose. You get everything. Don't worry. Add 1 to wound rolls, and then friendly Daughters of Khaine units have a ward of 5 up. Sure. I mean, turn 5. Most games don't make it to turn 5. Blah, blah, blah. But I'll take a fucking 5 up ward. That's for sure. This shit's good. All Out Slaughter is good. Battle Fury sounds really good, and then you remember you can't put it on a monster, and so it's like, okay, but straightforwardly, just simply strong, albeit on a foot hero. 6-up ward is like whatever. Blood rights are great. Once you get to turn 3, you get to choose both of these. Shit's just good. Daughters of Khaine are just good. Sounds fun. Let's look at the enhancements, shall we? You can put Battle Fury on the shrines that aren't monsters. The T-posing Chad statues with -2 Ren 3 damage. Now you're thinking with portals, Colonel Cabbage. Although I think the statue might count as a crew or something like that, and it specifically said mount attacks aren't counted, so maybe not. I'm just thinking about it in my head. And also, just if you play the statue, I don't think it's a hero, so you can't. But then again, we'll see. We will elucidate further. I don't think the foot statue is a hero, so it can't use a heroic action, but it might be. Maybe it is in this book, right? They could change things. Arcane Mastery, alright, these are the command traits. Wizard only, general knows all the spells from the Lore of Shadows, in addition to the other spells it knows. Hey, okay, perfect, yeah. You know all the stuff. Depends on how good your spells are. I probably won't be choosing this. Bathed in Blood. The spell you want is called Mind Razor, alright? There, I helped you out. Bathed in Blood. In the combat phase, each time an enemy model is slain by wounds caused by this general's attacks, you can heal 1 wound allocated to this model. Oh, it's per enemy model you're slain, so if you're the Chaff Slayer, you know, you get to be this is kind of like a miniature Bastion Carthelos ability, where if you roll into some chaff and you fuck them up, you basically just get set to full life, except he only has to kill 1 and you kind of have to kill a lot, but still. Kind of neat. Wouldn't ever do it, I don't think. Fueled by Revenge. Melusai Iron Scale only. Once per battle to start the combat phase, you can say this general will wreak Khaine's Vengeance. Oh, sorry, wreak. Ahem. Wreak Khaine's Vengeance. If you do so until the end of that phase, add 1 of the attack's characteristic melee weapons used by the friendly Melusai units holding within 12 of the general. Oh, big. What do my wondering eyes but appear? Once per battle, you don't have to roll a die, and on a 4-up it works, and on a 1-3 nothing fucking happens. Curious. That bad design like that doesn't find its way into the doc book. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, good, but stop fucking doing that to everybody else. You bitch. Alright, this is great. Add 1 of the task characters. Yeah. +1 attack, Aura. Once a game, just works. It's Melusai Iron Scale only, but she unlocks the battle line. Do this for everybody else, though. You know what I mean? Buddy? Alright, Zealous Orator. Zealous Orator. This generally issues the rally command. You can turn the slain model to the unit that receives the command for each 4-up instead of 6. You just... Okay. What did you just do? What was your most recent? With the Fire Slayers book, you just changed this. You just made this mistake with the Fire Slayers book and you just changed it. And where are my keywords at here? You put keywords here and here. Oh, we're back to this again. Alright, hey. Welcome back. It's been almost 2 weeks. Precedent says that, hey, you should look forward to the Daughters of Khaine keyword being added to this trait. The book was probably printed around the same time. True, which also means that it was 2 different teams making the same mistake, which is weird. Day 1 patch, expect it. Moving on. It's not as strong as the Fire Slayers one, since Daughters of Khaine can only be the Jenny in Daughters of Khaine. Yeah, the Fire Slayers one is stronger because you could just ally that brat in, you know, Brattlemaster. It's also stronger in Fire Slayers, paradoxically, because Fire Slayers might actually ally something in or be used elsewhere, and Daughters of Khaine are so good, they don't need that. You'll just rally your own guys. Your doc shit is fine, you don't want dragons. Your shit's better than dragons, actually, unironically. I think, anyway. I mean, maybe you're going to ally some dragons in if you're particularly desperate, but I feel like your own synergies and stuff are plenty strong. Master of Poisons. At the end of the combat phase, if any wounds caused by this general's attacks allocated to any models in the battlefield in that phase, pick 1 and it suffers d6. Huh. Okay. At the end of the combat phase. This is kind of like Metal Cruncher. It's not as good as Metal Cruncher, but it's kind of like Metal Cruncher. Do you have to roll a die for this? Of course not. Don't worry. It's just d6 mortal wounds for fucking free. The thing is, It's at the end of the combat phase, so you cannot be dead, which is what makes Metal Cruncher so strong. It's at the beginning, so sometimes you even chart stuff that you're fighting before it gets to fight. You don't have to roll for Metal Cruncher either. But yeah, every combat, you deal an extra d6 mortal wounds. It is at the end of the combat, though. Imagine not having to roll for this, though. There are plenty of... I honestly think, here's my real honest take, this is fully balanced. This is fine. And you shouldn't have to roll for it. The cost you pay is the general has to live through the entirety of that combat phase. You know? And then the thing your general's attacking has to not already be dead somehow, and then now it takes extra damage. It's fine. It actually is fine. It's just so many people have something like this with all the downsides and then extra bullshit trash downsides stapled onto it for literally no reason, that this kind of thing like feels strong, but it's not. It's just kind of good with a bunch of downsides. Is Doc the 5-color deck of Age of Sigmar? No. No, I don't know what I would call it. It's kind of like when you compare Simic to Rakdos in Commander, where it's like one color combination gets everything forever and it's so easy, and the other one is just struggle bus the whole time. No one-time per game ability should ever have a roll to see if it activates. I disagree, but on a technicality that would make me actually agree with you for what you really mean instead of what you typed, Colvin. Mark. So, this is not me. I like once per game abilities having a roll to die to see what happens, not roll a die to see if it works at all or nothing. That's like my sticking point here. Anyway, Sacrificial Overseer. After this general is fought for the first time in the combat phase, when enemy models are slain by wounds caused by the general's attacks in that phase, general is said to be reveling in murder until the end of the phase. If the general is reveling in murder, they can fight for a second time. Strike last effect applies to the general when they fight for the second time. Oh, a little bit of balance. Look at that. People who double strike have the strike last effect. This might be, I think this is a sea change. I think this is how they're going to template pile in twice for the rest of time. I think this is what they're going to do now. Interesting. This is obviously the Timmy Trap of the command traits, but Timmy Trap doesn't necessarily, it's not a bad thing. Well, okay, it is a bad thing because I used the word trap. Maybe I should come up with a new name. What do we call that? Fun, I guess? Alright, fun. Timmy Trap is where, like, it's tricking you. It's actually shit, you know. But you think it would be fun for some little Timmy. Yeah, maybe Timmy Bait, how about? Because this isn't bad. It's actually good. It depends on what you can put it on. You know, how damaging is it or whatever. Do you actually want a defensive ability on your person? Do you actually want to know all spells? And if all your spells are good, you kind of do, right? Yeah, Timmy Bait. Timmy Bait isn't bad necessarily. Timmy Traps, I think, are. So, yeah, this is fun. And True Believer. Add one of the number of current battle round when determining the abilities gained by this general from the Blood Raids table. Oh, but just the general? Nah, I'm out. Nope. I was almost really interested in True Believer. I'm like, oh, damn, dude. +1 to the number of the current battle round when determining the abilities for everybody as long as the general's alive? No, it's just the general. All right, I'm out. Nope. No thanks. Hard pass. So, let's see. Zealous Order is kind of cool. Sacrificial Overseer is fun. Arcane Mastery is kind of fun. Fueled by Revenge seems to be the obvious pick if you're playing. If you happen to be playing a Melisai Iron Scale and you are in the Snakes, Fueled by Revenge is obviously the best one. And it's not even close. So, good. Aside from that, these seem like reasonably balanced against each other. I still probably, do I take a Universal? Do I just take Master of Magic so I can reroll a cast and an Unbind every turn? That's probably better. Master of Magic is so good. Anyway, I don't have many complaints. 5 out of 7 work. Next. Artifacts of Power. Gifts of Morathi. Bloodbane V Gnome. Pick one of the bear's melee weapons after the bear fights. If any wounds caused by attacks made to that weapon in the phase are allocated to the enemy unit, and that enemy model has not been slain, roll a die. And it could be slain. Nope. Absolutely not. Crone Blade. Pick one of the bear's melee weapons. If the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with a 6, you can heal 1 wound allocated to the bear after all the bear's attacks have been resolved. Nope. No thanks. Crown of Woe. Crown of Heywoah. Okay, this better be good. Enemy units cannot receive the Rally or Inspiring Presence command while they are within 9 of the bear. In addition, if any models are slain by wounds caused by the bear's attacks, increase the range of this ability by 15 inch. Damn. Okay. They called it Crown of Woe because this is really close to the Tyrant ability I made up. Rally or Inspiring Presence. If I'm Daughters of Khaine specifically, I don't think I care about that. As long as Daughters of Khaine, the army, is doing the kind of damage I am used to it doing, what's the battle shock phase? You deal 60 damage to the thing you're fighting. It's fucking dead, man. It's fucking gone, man. It's just wiped out. Neat design space, though, for lesser armies that can't do grown man, big boy, giantess, Amazon woman damage. And Rune of Khaine. The first time the bearer is slain, the bearer can fight before they are removed from play. Okay, your artifacts suck. Cool. This is actually Timmy bait, fun. Like in some other army, you might consider taking this, blah, blah, blah. Nope. Yeah, your artifacts are poop. Good work. Oh, wait, but there's more. All right, we got more chances. There's more artifacts. Daughters of Khaine wizard only. Oh, here's the good ones. Okay. Crystal Hato. Bearer attempts to cast a spell that summons an endless spell. The range of that spell is doubled. Wait, no, this isn't... Hold up. Hold the fuck up. I know you were ready to laugh at this. I was ready to laugh at this, because endless spells are a trash mechanic that have largely failed in the game. Because they suck and just aren't worth it at all. However, Daughters of Khaine has one of the few endless spells in the whole game, amongst the 100 endless spells that the game has. Daughters of Khaine has one of the 4 that are sometimes maybe played, like the Viper Foot Hero Destroyer / Get in the Way. Some Daughters of Khaine actually play that thing, and it's not that bad. So, I don't know, maybe Crystal Heart, but now you're putting a few more eggs in the basket than I'm comfortable with. It's just not, what I'm saying is Crystal Heart isn't, I'm not pressing the laughing Spanish man, laughing, this is a complete garbage meme. It's just like, you might almost consider choosing this before you go universal, which I would do. I would just do that. Anyhow, Sevenfold Shadow. Once per battle in your movement phase, instead of making a normal move, you can just teleport. Once again, maybe they learned. Look, once per battle in your movement phase, something just fucking happens. No rolling a die, right? And nothing happens. Great. Great and cool. Okay. The fist is the prayer. Yeah, you can't use the fist because it's a, what do you call it? An invocation. It's not an endless spell. And usually they've been adding the language to apply to both. But Crystal Heart is like specifically only endless spells. So I'm just talking about the snake on this one. Anyway, hey, once a game teleport. Great. I might choose it if that's part of your plan. Shadowstone, add 1 to casting rolls for the bearer when they attempt to cast a spell from the Lore of Shadows. Oh, you just take Shadowstone. Easy. Okay, cool. Yep. Hey, remember when I said your artifacts are trash? Well, they were, but now we got to the wizard section, and Sevenfold Shadow could very well be a great choice. Shadowstone is just probably a better choice, but at least they do kind of different things. These are both great. Crystal Heart is not, but it's not a laughing stock in exactly this army with the endless spells that this army has. However, these two are way better, and I'm probably taking Shadowstone. Maybe for a second artifact, if you don't want to take Tome. Yeah, like, if I'm taking one artifact, it's probably Shadowstone. Maybe it's Sevenfold. If I'm taking 2, it's both. It still might be Arcane Tome. And this just solidifies me for the battle traits. I'm taking Master of Magic. Yeah, know all lore spells, +1 to cast them. I mean, that's like a combo, right? Anyway, Daughters of Khaine priest only. Pick 1 extra prayer for the bearer. Okay. 2 prayers. True. Yeah, you got your little snake hero there. A little 2-prayer Claire running around. Not bad. Any 2-prayer Claires in chat? Canaanite Pendant. Once per battle before the bearer chants a prayer, you can say that they will call upon the power of the pendant. If you do, the prayer is automatically answered. Do not make a chanting roll. If you have something as linchpin integral to your army as like translocation is for Stormcast, maybe you would choose this. Like you just have the most point and click flowchart A, B, C, I do A and then I do B and then I do C and then I win or something. Like maybe you would do this, but probably not. Overall, I still give the artifact section a D. I don't think I give it a D-. I think it's a solid D. Because there are maybe 2 choices out of like 12, which is better than average. Maybe 3 choices. We're batting slightly above average, but average is D- for Age of Sigmar. So we're on a D for these artifacts, which it's sad that that's better than normal, but that's what we're on. You disagree? Games Workshop got 1 question right in this test. Or Doc like the solid D. Anyway, what else we got? Battle traits, enhancements, command traits. Alright, we did it. Hey, Gigabrain Content Engine, thanks for dropping the brand new Daughters of Khaine leaks in the chat. Appreciate it. Oh, you know what? I'm going to call them out. The people who posted it, Catboy Khalil, came in with the Allegiance abilities and the Artifacts of Power. Big. All right. We got Morathi, don't we? Great question. The answer is yes. Oh Lord, she coming. However, we're going to go over the sub-factions first. Also, yeah. All right. Hagnar. Daughters of the First Temple add 1 to the number of the current battle round when determining the abilities gained by friendly Hagnar units. Oh, cool. So that's the +1. Nice. That's what I thought the trait was going to be. This thing is good because your abilities gained from Blood Rights are good, and so +1 to that is good. You get a 5-up ward on turn 4, which might actually matter. You get +1 to hit on turn 2. I like Hagnar. It's like kind of boring, but like you do want that meat and potatoes, like it just makes your battle trades better kind of sub-faction. I like it. I appreciate it, and I like it. I'm going to bring up the battle traits just for a frame of reference here. +1 to run rolls, +1 to charge rolls. Turn 3, +1 to hit rolls for everybody, +1 to wound rolls for everybody, and then friendly Daughters of Khaine units have a ward of 5-up on turn 5. So on turn 1, you get +1 to run and charge. On turn 2, +1 charge, and +1 to hit. On turn 3, you're at +1 to hit and wound, and at turn 4, you have a 5-up ward, and all of these are cumulative. Hagnar is good. This is good and fun, and I appreciate it. 5 out of 7, great work. Drichi Ganeth. Now, by the way, in the average battle tome, you're done. It's over. You found the one good sub-faction. The other 2 that they gave you are trash, and you move on to the next section. However, this is Daughters of Khaine, which is written with some amount of care and attention to trying to do a good job, right? So I recall fondly from the last book where most of the sub-factions, you could see actually playing them instead of just one of them and the rest are fucking garbage, right? So let's check them out. Drichi Ganeth. Improve the Ren characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter by 1 if those units made a charge move. Alright. +1 rend on the charge army-wide for all of your hammers, huh? That's good. That's very good. God damn. If you were making a Daughters of Khaine army, you would actually have to decide between these two. You might have to make a decision. It's like, oh, am I going to play a bunch of Witch Elves and am I going to play the... Essentially, am I going to play the elf half of the army? Bonus rend on the charge. Pretty fucking good, actually. Well done. 5 out of 7 and good work. Keltnar. Friendly Keltnar units can retreat and still charge in the same turn. Retreat and charge is very good, and it's just everybody in Keltnar. That's strong. It doesn't have the same tangy zip as +1 rend on the charge or add 1 to the Blood Rights thing. It's not as chunky. Retreat and charge is a very good ability. It just is. It does seem to, at least on first glance, maybe it's purely emotional. It feels less than the first 2, but I feel like I'm saying this as a defense mechanism. Retreat and charge is good. Once upon a time, you were told Skaven were special for that. Well, here's how it works, Mikaphone. One day an army comes out, and they have a special, kind of unique to them ability that comes from their, lore and stuff like that, and it makes them stand out. You're like, oh, this is the cool thing I get. And if it's a good rule, the next 12 battle tomes that come out, everybody else gets that, so you're no longer special. And then the next edition comes out, and everyone edition-wide just, gets that. Because when they come up with one cool thing, they cannot just let it be one army's cool thing. They have to give it to everyone so that it's no longer special or unique. If people think I'm talking about, absolute ogre copium, you know what? It is, okay? It's not... wrong one. It's not a conspiracy. Anyway, monster capturing bonuses. Might makes right. They came out with a battle tome after mine, and they called the fucking rule Mightier Makes Rightier. It was our name, only better. You sons of bitches. And then you gave it to everyone in 3rd edition, except half, which diluted the power of ours. Anyway, blah, blah. I'm done. Let's look at the next one. I can only pretend to be actually upset by that so much. It's not real upset. It's Twitch act pretend. Calibrion. You can use command ability at the end of your movement phase. Oh, it's a command ability, is it? Command can only be issued by a friendly Calibrion hero. Sorry, I should pronounce this correctly, huh? Calibron. Calibron James. Ahem. Remove the unit that received this command from the battlefield and set it up again on the... Alright. A command ability, teleport. That's good. That's great positioning. Free teleport. This feels like the bow snake one, to be TBH, but, you know, we'll see. That's good. We now have 3 sub-factions that are very good, and one that's pretty good. Amazing. The Persona piano would have worked because it sounds drained. Yeah, it's true, where I'm, like, leaning heavily in. It's dark here because I didn't turn on my light because it's, like, fucking 89 degrees in my house. I'm dying over here. Anyway, the Craith. After a friendly Craith Sisters of Slaughter unit, Sisters of Slaughter specifically, has fought for the first time in the combat phase, roll a die on a 4-up, the unit can fight a second time. But it is strike last. This is good, too. This is actually nerfed. I think the old one didn't have the fight a second time, but it might have been on a 5-up. Can we check the tape? I believe it was on a 5-up. Any tape checkers in chat? Oh, this is the super old doc, right? Yeah, on a 5-up, the unit can fight a second time. Right, it was a 5-up. But it was at, like, the total end of combat. Like, might have been the end of the combat phase, even, so. Great. This shit's fun. This is also a Timmy bait, but it's not a Timmy trap, it's just fun if you like Sisters of Slaughter. Yeah, it was semi-fight last, because it was at the end of the combat phase, which is essentially fighting last, just in a different way. Cool. Find someone who loves you like the lead GW designer loves Daughters of Khaine? Yeah, jeez. Squad goals, right? Holy shit. Timmy Tempter? That one sounds a little sus. But, you know what? Sure. Timmy Tempter. I don't know if I want that terminology, honestly. Now that I didn't think about it until I said it, and now that I have said it, I gotta admit, alright, everyone please look at the left side of your screen real quick. Timmy Tempter shall not be the terminology. Good try, it's an alliteration, but what we don't want is... Anyway, Craith is the shit. Good work. Xanthar Kai. Each time a model in a friendly Xanthar Kai Melusai unit is slain, that model can fight before it is removed from... Holy fuck. Fight when you die for snakes? In this economy? God damn. That's so fucking good. Corn is absolutely mauling right now. Holy shit. That's really good. Do you know how much damage snake ladies in melee do? Do you have any concept? I know everybody is playing against bow snakes nowadays. I've played against melees. They do grown woman damage. Like big, like Titan's Bride kind of damage, alright? I don't know what that manga is, and also I am 12, by the way. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, melee snakes hit like Stormcast Paladins, right? If Stormcast Paladins could pile in and fight before they're removed from play, like Redeemer units can, even though the Redeemers are the ones that don't do damage, and they still have to roll a 4-up to do that, and it's only in that one battalion. Jesus Christ. This sub-faction's amazing. Craith is great. Calibron is great. Keltnar. In any other army, this would be like, ooh, wow, this is great. Remember when Nighthaunt got this and I spent 5 minutes talking about how great that was? Yeah, it's the worst one.
Oh, 69, nice.
It's just the worst one. All these are awesome. Holy shit. Have this person work on all your battle tomes. Or conversely, try to be excited about all of the factions you're working on instead of like, it's very clear which factions they're excited to work on and which ones, another NPC destruction faction, better put a bunch of bullshit randomness in there. Anyway, thanks for the $6.90. K Schmiles, I appreciate it. Did you have a message? You're jelly of this book? True, they're good comment. Thanks for the meme number of Dono. Imagine complaining about LRL being OP. Well, the thing is, LRL is not. They're just not. I mean, look at the stats. Or don't look at the stats. And play against them a few times. Lumineth, at best, they're like top 6, maybe top 8. You just do your exact I do A, I do B, I do C, and if the opponent loses to it, they do. Like, it's, I don't know. They're good, but they're not one of the best armies, I don't think. It's just like casual players hate losing to them. That's really that's the crime LRL has. Um, Doc is fun. Yeah, Doc aren't currently either, to be fair. It's just that all their shit is good and fun. And if you want to do well in tournaments, you can play bow snakes, and they're pretty good. They're not top tier, but they're right on the edge of top tier. They're just good. Imagine if Gitz got a tome. Imagine if they got a battle tome. It would be their first one. See what I did there? What do we got here? Proof. A points next slide. Just alphabetized it because you're not an animal. Oh, Jesus, thank you. Yeah, so we got this, and it's divided in battle line first, and then battle line if is way down here, and then behemoths are up here, and then leaders are up here, and then leaders that are behemoths are separated to be down here, and then here's just 2 more leaders. All of it's out of alphabetical order. Well, it's within alphabetical order of its miniature little subsections that are all just jumbled around. Then we have normal units. Not all of them that are battle line if are organized at the top. Sometimes there's just gaps for no reason. And then finally at the end, we have endless spells and then invocations. This is 100 monkeys typing on typewriters trying to make, A Tale of Two Cities by pure randomness organization. Absolute nightmare monster stuff. And then over here, a civilized list for a civilized society. Alphabetical order, just the way Jesus demanded it in the 11th commandment. Thou shalt order thine lists alphabetically. And then if something else needs to matter, you can make a second list if you want. All right. Anyway, imagine Silbuza running Daughters of Khaine. Too easy. He likes choosing a ham sandwich and proving that he is good enough to win with it. Or maybe he just plays factions that he happens to like, and he's really good, and so he wins with them, even if they're not very good. All right, what do we got? Avatar of Khaine. It's now 155. It used to be 120 because it was dipping because no one played it. Counts as a behemoth. Blade Wind went down. Good. Endless spells are, on average, literally twice as expensive as they should be, and even then they're not very good. That's like my quote. Heywoah, what do you think about endless spells? Almost every endless spell, and I'm talking 90% plus of endless spells in the entire game, are mathematically twice as expensive as they should be. And even if they were correctly costed, they would still be a struggle to find room for in any list, to be honest. Essentially, my problem with endless spells is that TLDR, they don't exist. Blood Sisters, same. Stalkers, same. Bedline of General is Xanthar Kai or Melisai Ironscale. Cool, alright. Blood Rack Shrine, Blood Rack Medusa. Yellow boxes are new, yeah. Hag Queen went up a little bit. Hagnar army can include 1 Conjurer of Blood in addition to any... Oh, cool. Alright, so you can have 5 behemoths in a Hagnar army. Sure. Alright. Mad Max Fury Road, just all cauldrons all the time. Khaine Shadow Stalkers are battle line in the K LeBron James army, and their points went up by a lot. Morathi Khaine went up 20. Hey, there we go. Dust our hands off. Easy. Oh, wait. How can I have any opinion on how good Morathi Khaine is and whether this plus 20 is worth it or not without looking first at her Warscroll? So I'll skip over that one for now. Slaughter Queen plus 20. She's really good. Sure. On Cauldron plus 15. Witch Elves went down 5. Okay. A Drichi Ganeth army can include 1 reinforced or double reinforced Witch Elf unit in addition to... Okay, so you got bonus reinforcement stuff. This is the kind of thing that I was expecting them to do with like Gitz or even Soulblight. The armies that are supposed to be, massive regiments, hordes and everything like that. I thought they were going to do that for those armies, but we haven't seen that yet, and we saw it with... Now we see it with Daughters of Khaine. Good. I assumed they were going to start turning this dial, but we haven't gotten any battle tome from a horde army yet, right? Unless I'm mistaking something. Like Gitz and Skaven are surely getting this. It'd be insane if they didn't. It just so happened the Doc book happened to release first, that's all. And if you're going to spam Witch Elves, which you're supposed to do in this sub-faction, yeah, sure, toss it in. Sounds good. Doc, the most famous horde army. It used to be before Morathi Khaine was printed. People used to run 90 Witch Elves and 3 units of 30 all the time, and it was actually pretty good. Then Morathi Khaine got printed. The list changed a little bit. Then Bow Snakes came out, you know. What was I going to look at? I was going to look at something. Oh yeah, I was going to look at the new Morathi Warscroll. Every time I look at a Daughters of Khaine book, I'm just pleased.
Sophisticated.
Oh.
Relaxing. Kind of invigorating. Everybody doesn't appreciate it like we connoisseurs do.
SG Arcade, thanks for the $20 donation. What a connoisseur. So much news, what a time to be alive. You demand Doc Ryder writes corn. Thoughts and prayers. Let's look at these Shadow Queens, shall we? Gaze of the Shadow Queen. 1, 2, 2, -3, D6. Am I bringing up the old version? Are we really doing that? Or am I just taking this at face value? Heartrender is back to Rend 2, finally, instead of Rend 1. Damn, 8 attacks, 3s and 3s, -2, 3. Fucking, she's got 2 Annihilators. 1 in each bra, holy shit. Crown of Serpents, 2d6, 3s and 3s, 1, and Venom Tail, 1 hit, but it hurts. The chart, is the chart the thing that's different here? 14-inch flying move seems pretty good. They'll FAQ it to Rend 1 soon enough. No, this time they copy-pasted it right this time. They did it. Morathi Khaine, it is a double Jenny. I suppose a triple Jenny in a way, right? Because they both have the Warscroll. You could be like a quad Jenny in this army. So many Jennies. Fury of the Shadow Queen was units within 3 of any enemy units. Add 1 to attacks characteristic of weapons used by Kinnerai and Melisai units older than 18. Amazing. 2 bodies, 1 soul. And I know what you're thinking. You don't need to say it. We're all thinking it. But also, 12. These units, battlefield, wounds and mortal wounds that would be allocated. Is this the thing I should be reading through? No longer says wounds over 3. She can take or ignored. I think people are reading too much into the wording change, though. Okay, I'll read through the whole thing. I'll see. I'll go start to finish, and I won't skim. No skimming, okay? If this unit is on the battlefield, wounds and mortal wounds that would be allocated to Morathi Khaine are instead allocated to this unit and have no effect on Morathi Khaine, because, of course, this is the Shadow Queen. My queen. Alright, in addition, if this unit is on the battlefield and the effect of an ability or spell would cause Morathi Khaine to be destroyed without any wounds being allocated, what this means is abilities that say she is slain outright or destroyed or something like that. She's not destroyed, and 3 wounds are allocated to this unit instead if this unit is destroyed after removing this unit from the play. Morathi Khaine is also destroyed. That seems unchanged to me. Iron Heart of Khaine, no more than 3 wounds and or mortal wounds can be allocated to this unit in the same turn. Once 3 wounds and or mortal wounds have been allocated to this unit in the same turn, not counting any wounds that were negated, any further wounds and mortal wounds that would be allocated to this unit are negated. Okay, yeah, this is the least fun rule in the entire game, and I strongly disagree with anything like this ability ever existing in Age of Sigmar. I hate it. I don't think it's terrifically overpowered balance-wise in a metagame. It's fine. Like, Daughters of Khaine themselves, it's not like they're pretty good, but they're not like the best army. They were never really the best army. Okay, sometimes they were like top 3 or something like that. But this isn't really like a metagame power level thing. I just feel like in a game like Age of Sigmar, you shouldn't ever be able to just entirely stop taking damage 100%, right? You should be able to die, mathematically speaking, at any point. You shouldn't just be immune to dying. This is more like a philosophical complaint rather than a power level one. Plenty of people kill Morathi all the time. There's plenty of half-decent players, right? And plenty of people beat Doc on the table just fine. I just think she should have like an incredible ward save or something like that. But enough about me. It's her only true anvil. Some armies don't have an anvil at all, you know? But anyway, wounds and mortal wounds. I would rather give Morathi a 2-up ward than Ironheart of Khaine. Truly. Literally a 2-up ward. Which would probably be better. And more people would complain about it. But, you know, sometimes you feel strongly about something and it makes your brain go smooth and you start saying crazy stuff. Yeah, something like a 6-up for the first 3 and then a 2-up for the subsequent. Just don't tell me it's impossible. Give me a chance. Luxopolis. That's kind of what I'm going for here. Anyway, wounds and mortal wounds allocated to this unit at the start of the battle round count towards the number of wounds allocated to this unit in the first turn. of that battle round. Wounds and mortal wounds allocated to this unit at the end of the battle round count towards wounds allocated in the second turn of that battle round. Okay. If the effect of an ability or spell would cause this unit to be destroyed without any wounds being allocated, 3 are allocated to it instead. Oh, but you said that over here. But okay. Wounds can only be negated if 3 and or mortal wounds have been... Alright. Wounds allocated to this unit cannot be healed. Yeah, she cannot be healed. That is the downside. This is the quote-unquote balancing point, is that she can't be healed. So she will eventually die. Not really, but like she has the potential of always ending up dead after a certain amount of time has passed. If she could heal, obviously it would be stupid, right? Because she would be just invincible then. But yeah. Okay, didn't change much. What's the math on the 2-up ward? It actually gets silly, probably like 100 wounds or something. Which is why I'm talking flippantly and not literally. 3 wounds allocated, so like if you do 5 wounds, does she only roll 3 armor saves? No. So when you're rolling an armor save, you haven't allocated any wounds yet. Wound allocation is like the last possible thing that happens, for the most part. If she can't heal, how come she starts every battle round at full wounds? Jared Kruger, they're on to us. Alright. We have to hide our power level. We know too much. Gotta keep our heads down on this one. Okay, yeah, Morathi's amazing. Just like always. She's the type of demigod, where you feel bad saying demi, because she's just like better than gods that don't have such a lesser caveat to the start of their name. And she shows all these other gods what a real god can do on the table. I like how she's fucking amazing. She might be a little too auto-include for me philosophically. I like when your god model is a great choice, but not like auto-include, and I feel that Morathi is auto-include and has been for a long time. But I would rather play against Morathis than have every Alariel owned in the world collecting dust on a shelf because everyone thinks it's shit, and they're right, for many years. I prefer that. I would rather see models, even if I don't like them, than for someone to buy something and realize it's unplayable trash and just never play with it. If we have to choose between those two bad options, I would rather see things played than not. Foot Morathi, by the way, is the real reason why Shadow Queen is so good, is because her synergy abilities are insane, and you can't get rid of them. You just have to deal with her synergy abilities for several turns. You can't remove her. This is why Morathi is really good. Because at the end of the day, the Shadow Queen is it's a distraction Carnifex. You throw it at the opponent, they simply have to deal with it and just sit there losing to it for a while until finally you kill it, but it's essentially the perfect anvil. You throw it at your opponent, you start killing stuff, and they have to play patiently and slowly be doing 3 to it every turn until finally it dies. Meanwhile, she's just like spinning around killing everyone, right? And you can't get rid of Morathi Khaine, the real synergy monster, because she's tied to the Shadow Queen. And so you just have to eat this fucking command ability. You just have to eat it. Yeah, Frank on the Rocks. To borrow from fighting game terminology, you gotta hold that. You are handed this L and you have to hold that for half of the game or most of the game, to be honest. Which is a good strat and it's fun for you. To do the ward save math, simply divide the success rate by the failure rate. So 2-up ward is 5 divided by 1 equals 5. 500% increased durability. Okay. Anyway, Morathi Khaine technically has a wounds value, although she's never going to take any. 4-up save, 6-inch move, heart render. Hey, this one's -2 as well. Nice. She is a triple caster, but only a 2 unbinder. Knows all the spells from the Lore of the Shadows, unlike Alariel, who just doesn't, even though she's a greater god and Morathi is a lesser one, but okay. And them printing this here means that maybe our philosophy on that spell lore thing didn't work out. But the Sylvaneth book and the New Daughters of Khaine book were probably written at very different times, I would guess. A lot of the stuff we are getting this year, we would have been getting all throughout COVID, and instead it's just kind of getting dumped on us, and so these books could have been written as many as a year or 2 apart. Don't forget. She's a Jenny. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target this unit. Awesome. If the Shadow Queen is on the battlefield and mortal wounds, it would be allocated to this one, is dealt to them instead. Yeah, in addition, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. Add time? Oh, shit. All right, get owned. See you in a minute. Worship through bloodshed. You can use this command ability in your hero phase if this unit is part of your command army and on the battlefield. Well, obviously, that's the default state of you can only use an ability of something that is on the battlefield. You can't use abilities that are off the battlefield unless they say so. So this is superfluous by their own rules. You don't need to say if it's in your army and on the battlefield. That's implicative of being a war scroll. That is the default state. This is unnecessary to write. But anyway, 30-minute interval message. Hey, Husbando and Thundertusk, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Copy paste, got it. Anyhow, command ability can only be issued by this unit, and the unit that receives the command ability must be a friendly Daughters of Khaine unit. The unit can shoot, or if it is within 3 of any enemy units, it can fight. I disagree. Yeah. I don't think anything should shoot twice, ever, in the same turn. You can give them buffs or bonuses. You shouldn't be doubling their damage. Straight up double damage is too strong for ranged in this game. The way that it is exacerbated by the double turn is extra shitty. Almost every time you make something be able to shoot twice, it becomes a problematic unit that everyone complains about. Long strikes shooting twice, snakes shooting twice. Seraphon, shooting twice in Thunder Lizards. The only thing that shoots twice and still sucks is fucking ogres. But that's just because Iron Blasters are much worse than they appear, and D6 damage is bullshit. Anyway, Rob74, thanks for gifting a sub to Manzac Miniatures so he doesn't have to watch that annoying ad. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sad. I think it used to have a wickedly huge area. Like, just an area that was well beyond anything that I thought was alright. Like 24 or 18 or something. Which normally I advocate for, but Games Workshop ignores me every time I do that, and so when they give it to only one person, it feels weird. Anyway, I fundamentally disagree with their balance on this one. You shouldn't be able to shoot twice. I feel like giving shooting like a 20% bonus damage, even 50% bonus damage, right? But full up doubling with the fact that priority exists. It's too much for something as safe as shooting, I think. But this is just my opinion, I guess. But, it's still here. It's not like it's ripping up the tournament scene. It's not every tournament is 5-0, Doc winning all the time. I just feel you should be strong in a different way, maybe. Anyway, Black Horror of Ulgu. Spell, the casting value is 7, range of 36, which is incredible. You successfully cast, pick one enemy unit within range invisible, then roll die on a 1. That unit suffers 1 on a 2 to 3, D3 on a 4 up, D6. Okay, it's like Dragon Breath, only better. Okay, with a crazy long range. And you can cast 3 spells. You might actually do it. Alright, yeah, Morathi, OP, shoot twice OP. But aside from that, aside from what I feel those two were bringing those two errors forward, seems like an awesome battle tome, and I wish they were all written like this because the game would be more fun. And indeed, would feel a little more balanced. And a lot of this stuff is about feeling. Anyway, this is sweet. And remember what I said at the beginning, where my biggest fear, or what I thought the worst outcome would be that we get a new Daughters of Khaine battle tome and it basically could have been a white dwarf, and like, what did it even do? I think this updated enough. It doesn't feel like it's nothing. This is a reasonable update. And it kind of put everything all in one place. Fair enough. The second worst outcome that I really didn't want was them to over-nerf Daughters of Khaine and have them be terrible. Which I knew they wouldn't do, because the people who write Daughters of Khaine for Games Workshop actually do a good job for the most part. Consistently and always. And so I had no fear of that happening. The third thing I was hoping, and this is like, now we're getting into nitpick area instead of greatest fears. I really didn't want shoot twice to still be around, and I really didn't want literally immune to damage to be around, but they both still are, to my great chagrin. Sad. But what are you gonna do? My philosophies on what things should and shouldn't be able to do in the game are obviously different than Games Workshop's, right? So, and then here's the pitched battle profiles, and finally, we got some abilities on Warscrolls. Just a little bit. Let's check it out. Frenzied Fervour. Add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by this unit while it is wholly within 12 of any friendly Daughters of Khaine totems. I don't know about you, but I saw a lot of totems in those Warscrolls. Also, we're getting, what, +2 to wound rolls now? If it's turn 4? Damn, just throwing this in there, huh? Hell yeah, brother. This is great. Which brew? Oh, the sippy cup. What happened with you? At the start of your hero phase, you can pick a friendly, okay, within 12, and it drinks it, and it automatically works just like always. If you do, add 1 to the number of the current battle round or determining abilities gained by that unit until, oh, and this ability and other similar abilities are cumulative. But it can't drink it more than once in the same hero phase. Oh, and other similar, I see. So, like, if their hero uses the heroic action to be able to give the bonus, now you can take the sippy cup with that hero, and you can be in Hagnar, and so maybe, like, turn 1, you have a 5-up ward if you sort of, like, synergy stack some hero, you know? So it counts, like, turn 5 on turn 1 or something like that. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Witch Brew is very different than it used to be. I think it used to reroll wounds and make you immune to battle shock. But we're getting rid of rerolling stuff, so that's out. Do you think this is a nerf? It maybe is a nerf. But, I don't know how strongly I feel about that. The battle shock thing at one point in time kind of mattered, but that's long since been no longer the case. What about Blood Shield from the Cauldron? Add 1 to save rolls? Oh shit, okay. And it essentially means doesn't stack with all-out defense, although your opponent's rend will certainly help you there. Alright, Blood Shield's great. Nothing is fucked. Yeah, this is a great book that... The thing I really like about it is, hey, do you want to do this? This is great. Hey, do you want to play very aggressive, but you don't really like the snakes? This is great. Hey, do you want to play tricky and, you know, retreat and charge all the time? Or cool. You know, oh, do you actually want to play bow snakes? Cool. Hey, do you want to play Sisters of Slaughter? You just love Sisters of Slaughter? And you chose this army as female corn? Alright, perfect. Hey, do you want to play Snake Ladies? This is great. Like, all of these are great for whatever starting point you initially, like, picked up Daughters of Khaine excited about trying out. Where you're like, you know what? Man, everyone's using... Look at this Daughters of Khaine stuff. I love snakes. Well, there's a great subfaction. I love the elf part, actually. Well, you have 2 or maybe even 3 great choices there. Based on what you initially like. Boy, wouldn't that be cool. Is this army an overall buff? Depends on what you do, kinda, yeah. I don't think this rocks the boat really much at all. I don't think you're, like, way stronger or even much weaker than you used to be. It's just a little... They did that thing where your options got a little bit better now. And tweaks, right? Battle tomes aren't, and for the most part, I don't think they should be, ways to, like, correct the metagame exactly, for the most part. What about I Love Horse Riders? Well, Doomfire Warlocks they're not a bad unit. I'll say this until the end of my days. Doomfire Warlocks are not bad. There are reasons to play them. You can look at their stats and just work your way through it. They're not bad. It's just they're in a book where everything is amazing. Everything is awesome. And so Doomfire Warlocks just kind of pale in comparison. Which isn't their fault. But, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, here it is. And download. FAQ number 1. And FAQ number 2. Did you cover the dock battle tactics? No. Did I miss them? I normally don't care about battle tactics too much. Because, grand stratagems almost never matter, and battle tactics seem to be kind of just decent for everyone, like give you good options, but it's kind of boring. Alright, I will. I found them. Match play grand stratagems. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if all enemy heroes and monsters either have at least one wound allocated to them or have been slain. And if all other enemy units on the battlefield have at least one slain model. Interesting. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if there are friendly Avatar of Khaine or Cauldron of Blood wholly within enemy territory. When the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if all friendly units either fought at least once during the battle or have been destroyed. I think you could do this. Not, but destruction. If you pick this grand stratagem after deployment, pick one defensible terrain feature wholly within... No, wait. If you die before you get to fight, this doesn't count, right? No, or have been destroyed. Yeah, Bloodthirsty Zealots, you could do this. You could carry that out. That's possible. This one's possible. Pick one defensible terrain feature wholly within enemy territory. If there are no defensible terrain features wholly within enemy territory, your opponent picks one on the battle when the battle ends. You complete the grand strategy if the terrain feature has been demolished. I really am reading a Bone Splitter rulebook, aren't I? Okay. Interesting. I don't know if I'm playing any of these. I don't play Daughters of Khaine, so I'm not intuitively aware of exactly what they're trying to do grand strategy-wise during a game. Some of these seem possible, but I would probably choose a default one. You complete this tactic with 3 or more friendly units make a charge move this turn. If 2 or more of those are Witch Elves or Sisters, score 1 additional victory point. Certain armies, you could very easily do this. Depends on how you build it. If there's no defensible terrain, it doesn't work. I thought it said that you... Oh, you pick a defensible anywhere. Yeah, but if there's no defensible terrain, then this thing doesn't work, so you would never choose it. You take the... If I had to guess, I don't think it's the battle line one. I don't think it's the monster one. I think it's the wizard one, probably. Maybe the battle line one, but I doubt it. And probably the wizard one. I can't remember what it's called. Where you have a wizard or an artifact of power still alive. Prize sorcery, that's it. Yeah, Kaiser. Yeah, if I don't play Daughters of Khaine, but just off the top of my head, I'm probably choosing prize sorcery if I was to just build a list for TTS. Please tactic if 2 or more friendly Kinnerai units move using their fire and flight ability or flight. Oh, but you have to roll for that, so I don't know. Seems like you choose this and then like you roll to see if that happens and it just doesn't, and then you screwed yourself out of an entire battle trait. You should choose things that don't rely on that much randomness, probably. Tide of Blades. You complete this tactic if there are 2 or more units from your starting army wholly within your opponent's territory at the end of this turn. If 2 or more units are Witch Elves, score 1. Tide of Blades, free and easy. This is the free and clear, like, cell phone plan. The minutes roll over. You don't roll those anymore, it's just auto. Well, okay then. Cruel Delight, automatic points. Clash of Arms. If it's a certain type of army, automatic points. Tide of Blades, automatic points. How about Savage Spearhead, but only 2 instead of 3? Diffiller says, I think you don't roll anymore for the Kinnerai. Check out the Arena of Shades Warscroll. Yeah. Thanks for the comment. 2 people said that right away. I haven't seen the new Warscroll for it. But yeah, if you don't have to roll for it, then it's automatic and it's awesome. Thanks for the comment. Execution is called. You can pick this battle tactic only if there's a friendly high gladiatrix. This is some ship mistress energy over here. High gladiatrix. Gladiator. You complete this tactic if an enemy hero is slain by that unit's killing stroke. I don't know what the killing stroke is, but this may or may not be good. Only an enemy hero, but you would only choose this if it was appropriate. Hatred of Chaos. If you pick this battle tactic, only if you have a Hagnar or Keltnar army, you complete this tactic if 2 or more Chaos units are destroyed. Sure. Hey, I'm fighting against Chaos. Seems like I'm choosing this one at some point during the game. Unexpected Attack. You complete this tactic if a friendly Khainite Shadowstalker's unit uses its Shadow Leap and makes the charge move. Ooh. Okay. Big risk with the prize, I guess. Yeah, these battle tactics are nutty. These are super good. This shit, probably not as good as just prize sorcery. But very interesting. Final Flash. What have you missed? Good meme. You don't know how Doc aren't scoring all 5. It depends on what kind of army you're playing with and playing against. But that's the thing about battle traits, like their battle tactics. They can be pretty specific. But if you find yourself in that situation, it's just, you know, it's free. It's free. Guess you have to watch for the start. Yeah, apologies. We've been going for almost 4 hours, so it'd be a lot to summarize. I'm sorry about that. Oh yeah, there's also FAQs today. And I'm just going to get to that one real quick before we end it. Or wait a few days for the edited VOD. Yeah, and it cuts out a lot of the chaff, if you will.